Hello and welcome to Modern Skills in English. Today we're talking about a feeling every single student knows, the silent panic of your first professional meeting, the one where you understand almost nothing.
I have one of those tomorrow, my first team meeting for my internship. I've read the emails, I've looked at the project files, but I don't really get it. I'm going to sit there for an hour, smiling, while my mind is completely blank. They're going to realize they made a mistake hiring me.
That feeling is universal, Mark. The fear that your silence will make you look useless.
Exactly. What am I supposed to do? What if they ask me something? It feels like a test, and I haven't even learned the subject yet.
What if the goal of that first meeting isn't to be tested? What if the goal isn't even to contribute?
Then what is it? Just to sit there? That feels even worse.
Most people think the pressure comes from the meeting itself. They think, I need to say something smart to prove my value.
Yes, that's exactly it. I need to show them I'm a fast learner.
But that pressure doesn't come from the meeting. It comes from a belief. The belief that you are there to perform, that your value is based on what you already know.
Isn't it?
In your first weeks, your value isn't in what you know. It's in your potential to learn. And that first meeting isn't a performance. It's an opportunity. It's your first chance to gather important data.
Data? What data? I don't even know what the words mean.
We'll get to the words, but first, let's reframe the entire situation. Let's create a simple plan, before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting, starting with what most students get wrong before they even walk in the room.
They don't prepare enough?
They prepare for the wrong thing. Most students think they need to study the project details, the history, the technical documents. They try to memorize facts so they will have an answer if someone asks them a question.
That sounds like a good idea. That's what I was trying to do all morning.
It sounds reasonable because that's what school teaches us. We study to have the right answers for the test. But in a professional meeting, this approach often fails. You can't possibly learn everything in a day. It creates huge anxiety and focuses you on tiny details while you miss the most important thing.
Which is?
The purpose of the meeting itself. Your goal before the meeting is not to find answers. It's to find the right question. And the most important question is this: what is the main objective of this meeting?
The objective. I think the email said it was a Project Phoenix sync-up.
And what does that mean?
I have no idea.
Exactly. Before the meeting, find your manager or a friendly teammate and ask a simple strategic question. Something like, to help me prepare for tomorrow's meeting, could you tell me what the main objective is? What is the one thing we need to decide or achieve?
Is it okay to ask that? It feels like I'm admitting I don't know anything.
It's the opposite. It shows that you think strategically. You're not just trying to memorize facts, you're trying to understand the purpose. Knowing the meeting's objective is like being given a map. Without it, you're just lost in the forest. With it, every conversation starts to make more sense.
Okay, so the goal before is to understand the goal of the meeting. That feels more manageable than learning an entire project's history. So what do I do when I'm actually in the room and everyone starts talking?
This brings us to the second turning point, during the meeting. The common belief here is, I have to understand every single word and technical term.
Of course. If I don't, how can I follow the conversation? I start to panic when they use acronyms and jargon I've never heard before.
That's another habit from our time as students. In a university lecture, if you miss a key term, you might fail the exam. So we try to catch every single drop of information. But a meeting isn't a lecture. Trying to understand every word will exhaust you. You'll be so busy trying to translate the jargon in your head that you miss the bigger, more important patterns in the room.
So I should just ignore the words I don't know?
For now, yes. Your job in that first meeting is not to be a dictionary. It's to be a detective. You are listening for patterns, for relationships, for the information that lives between the words. You are gathering context.
What does that look like? What kind of context?
You listen for who speaks the most, who interrupts who. You listen for the names and project words that are repeated over and over. You watch who everyone looks at when a difficult question is asked. You notice which topics create energy and agreement, and which topics create tension or silence.
So if I hear the term Q4 deliverables and I don't know what it means,
you don't panic. Instead, you notice that every time someone says Q4 deliverables, the manager, David, writes something down, and your teammate, Maria, sighs. You have just learned something far more valuable than a definition. You've learned that David is tracking this, and Maria is stressed about it. That's the real information. You're mapping the social and emotional reality of the team.
I see. I'm not just listening to the words, I'm observing the entire situation. It makes me feel less passive, like I have a secret job to do.
It is your job, and it's a job you can do perfectly on your first day without any technical knowledge. This detective work leads directly to the third and final stage, after the meeting.
This is where I just go back to my desk and feel relieved it's over.
And this is where many students miss their biggest opportunity. The common belief is, if I ask questions after the meeting, it just proves I wasn't paying attention.
It does feel that way. It's like asking the professor to repeat the lecture because you weren't listening. It feels like an admission of failure.
It's an understandable fear, but in the professional world, silence is often misunderstood. Your manager doesn't know you were panicking inside. They might see your silence and think you're not interested or not engaged. You disappear.
So what's the alternative?
The alternative is a smart, strategic follow-up. This is perhaps the most powerful tool a new person has. It shows you are listening deeply, thinking about what you heard, and are committed to learn more. Your goal is to synthesize what you observed.
Synthesize. So put the pieces together.
Precisely. You take the clues you gathered as a detective and form a simple summary. Then you use that summary to ask a question. This demonstrates that you're taking initiative.
Can you give me an example of what that sounds like?
Of course. You could send a short email or message to your manager an hour or two after the meeting. Something simple. Hi, David. Thank you for including me in the meeting. It was very helpful. From what I understood, our main objective is to launch the new feature by next month, but the biggest challenge is a technical issue with the payment system. Is that correct?
Wow.
And then you add the key part. You say, I want to better understand that challenge. Is there a document or a person you'd recommend I speak to?
That sounds incredibly professional. It sounds like something a senior person would do.
It shows you listened. It shows you can identify the main point. It shows you want to learn. And it takes all the pressure off you to have known it all in advance. You have turned your confusion into a demonstration of initiative.
This all makes sense. The before, during, and after plan feels solid. But I still have one big fear. What if during the meeting my manager looks directly at me and says, Mark, you're new here. What do you think?
Yes, the moment of pure terror.
The silence would be awful. In that moment, I can't use my follow-up plan. I have to say something right then. If this is true that all these smart people are struggling, why would my opinion matter? It feels impossible.
This is where everything we've discussed comes together. Your preparation before the meeting gave you the main objective. Your observation during the meeting gave you context. So when you are asked for your opinion, you don't give one.
What?
You don't have enough information to have a valuable opinion yet, and that's okay. Instead of offering an opinion, you offer an observation. You reflect what you've seen in the room. You use your position as a newcomer as a strength.
How? What do I actually say?
You could say something like this. That's a great question. Since I have a fresh perspective, I'm mostly listening to understand the different viewpoints. What I'm hearing is that there seems to be a tension between moving quickly and making sure the quality is perfect. Is that the main challenge the team is facing?
Ah, so I'm not giving a solution. I'm just describing the problem I see.
Exactly. You are holding up a mirror to the team. You are helping them clarify their own thinking. You are showing that you're trying to find alignment between their different goals.
And that kind of question, it doesn't require any technical knowledge. It just requires listening.
That is the secret. On day one, your job isn't to have the answers. Your job is to understand the questions. By asking a clarifying question like that, you show that you are engaged at a very high level. It's far more impressive than pretending to understand a technical detail you just heard.
So if I understand the meeting's main objective beforehand, I have a focus. During the meeting, I use that focus to gather context and look for patterns, not just words. And after, I synthesize my observations to ask a smart question that shows initiative.
Yes, and if you're put on the spot, you use those observations to help the team find better alignment, rather than giving a premature opinion.
I feel so much better. I was looking at the meeting as a place where I had to prove I was smart, a performance.
And now?
Now I see it as a place to learn. The pressure isn't to be the smartest person in the room. It's just to be the most observant. The goal isn't to perform. It's to understand.
Exactly. And your silence is no longer a sign of panic. It's a tool. It's active, strategic listening. To all our listeners out there, we hope this was helpful. If there's another situation at school or work that causes you anxiety, tell us about it in the comments. We might explore it in our next episode.